Good morning, USC fans. This is Steve Levy, publisher of USC 24x7.com, coming at you from Morgan Hill, California, on a warm day. We're 50 degrees. Sorry about that. Chicago, New York, anywhere else that we're heading east. Horrible, horrible weather out there. I think I actually was in Seattle when these storms actually were forming up. We were at 17 degrees and they all headed your way. So be safe, stay indoors as best you can, and watch the blog. we're we are the infamous Game Day blog site. Game Day, not ESPN Game Day, but our Game Day is basically a contest that we've been running. Actually, goes all the way back to 2016, where players at no charge just register on the site. Can compete with each other week in and week out for three monetized awards. And last year, I think our pool was $500 from our sponsor. So you guess the correct score or close to the correct score, and you get ranked in the top whatever. And I think last year we had 39 players out of 160 members. And so this year, we want to get to 100 members playing in the game. That's a big step up. We still haven't hit 50, so the bar is a bit high, but hopefully with television shows like this one, we can hopefully get the word out there. So get to USC24x7.com and register. The only reason we ask you to register is we don't want bots playing, and obviously if you're in the top three, and you can look at some of the past winners and what they achieved, you will be sent your winnings. So anyway, best of luck to anyone who's interested in playing, and hopefully we can get some Big Ten following and get them in here and have some good jabs and enjoy the seasons coming forth, because everybody in the West Coast is excited about joining the Big Ten. I assure you, all the former Pac-12 conference teams that are coming your way are excited about this, and I think the spirit and level of play is going to be pretty exciting. So get into game day, have some fun, and we look forward to seeing you in stadiums that, quite frankly, a lot of us are really excited about coming to see. I'm not sure about after late October, but you never know. I know there's one fan, Psycho, who will be at every game regardless of the weather, as will the team. So on that note, the topic that I chose for this particular cast is fear and hate, because you can flip them around, you can talk about them independently, but when there's fear, typically in sports, there's hate. I could argue politics, that when someone is feared, the hate comes out, and we're seeing it. We see it in everyday life, but in football and in generally in all sports, there's blue blood programs, and we all have our definitions of what a blue blood program is. But I look at it as the staying power of decades, the performance that you see in the Michigans. And congratulations to the Wolverines and Coach Harbaugh. We'll see what happens with him. But the blue bloods represent kind of that foundational level of programs, right? The Notre Dames, the USCs, the Ohio States, the Penn States, the SEC teams. There are many. Alabama, Oklahoma, and Texas now coming in. Talk about exciting. You could already see the writing on the wall. The Big Ten and the SEC will eventually be, in my opinion, a conference grouping of 64 schools. You watch. It'll be just like basketball, and they will set up a very competitive playoff structure that will allow those 64 teams to compete. And that way, I don't know about you all, but one of the things I hate, if a team is not doing well and it's the last third of the season, and now they're playing a top team who's in a fight for the championship of their conference, that weaker team that's already out has nothing to play for. Pride, maybe, but this competitive, and I'm going to show you in a future TV cast what I believe the future should be, my opinion. And I believe there should be competition of, in the initial 2 years, 64 teams chosen. And then every 2 years of those 64 teams, the bottom 10 are pushed out. And the top 10 teams in the nation that were not in the 64 are brought up. And it's a 2-year commitment to that move. This keeps every team fighting to stay in the 64 because it's all about money. At the end of the day, it's all about money. No matter what any one of us think about pride and joy and my flag and all these things going on, it's all about money. So fear and hate, we're starting to see the hate. USC fans, players, program management, they're all getting it. They're all seeing it. We're all feeling it. I think when the level of hate and the way the media will sit there and not report on USC when it's good news, but only bad news, is a good thing. It means the program is starting to hit the rib cages of those programs that are fearing the rise of a once sleeping bear. So USC's been down. Clearly, we've had some moments of coming back since the Pete Carroll era, but we've been down. We thought we were going to have a great year last year, but we stumbled. But what has happened finally is, by stumbling, I believe we're now in a position to rise, and we're joining a conference where the level of competition week in and week out prepares you for the playoffs, prepares you for going up against the storied programs that's going to be required to get the championship back. So fear and hate, I tend to see them going together, because when there's fear, it's typically because something's happening and it's good. Thus, the hate comes out because no one wants you to rise back up. Keep USC down. Don't let USC rise above where they've been to the levels of that 9-year run under Pete Carroll. The decades of performance in the past, all those Rose Bowl victories. My God, USC joining the Big Ten, when you look at all the historical records that are coming with the school, UCLA in basketball, Oregon in track, USC in track, UCLA in track. The Big Ten is just stockpiling tons of leadership measurements. So enjoy the next few months as we get through spring camp coming up next, into summer camp, and then most important, fall camp, as we start to see the roster come together. Watch what happens. Follow the transfer portal. It's almost done. I mean, I don't know if the date is already passed, but transfer portal is what it is. Whether you like it, hate it, love it, so what? I like the fact that we are starting to attract the high schools. We're not where we need to be, but we'll get there. Fear and hate and fear. It's part of the game. Enjoy. And I think that's enough for today. I'm going to try to keep these under 10 minutes, and I'm looking at the clock, and I'm right at about 8.5 minutes. So fight on, and don't fear the hate, and don't hate the fear.